Have you ever wondered if you are a light worker? Well, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 signs that you may be a light worker. Hey y'all, I'm Peyton with Peyton Energetics. And as more and more people are waking up every day, having their spiritual awakening and wondering what their path and purpose is, more and more people are starting to ask whether they could be a light worker. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the top 10 signs of most light workers. Number one of the most important traits of a light worker is that the light worker is that person in your life who is always happy and positive and wanting to just be a sign of love and positivity in the world. So a light worker is someone who always wants to uplift others, does everything they can to stay in a positive, joyful state themselves, and really just feels a very strong pull to share love and light in the world. This is one of the hallmark signs of the light worker. So your light worker is not going to be someone who wants to sit around gossiping and complaining and focusing on the negative things that are going on in the world. The light worker is the one who is going to want to find that silver lining in every situation to help uplift themselves and everyone around them. So if this resonates with you, that could be a great sign that you are a light worker yourself. Number two, the second most common sign of light workers is that they really are drawn to help people. And this doesn't mean that a light worker has to have a career where they do this, where they are healers or intuitives, but light workers just want to be a source of help and assistance in anything they are doing in their life, whether that is helping their family, helping their community, helping their friends. Willingness and wanting to help others is probably the second most common sign that you are a light worker. Number three, the third thing that is very commonly associated with light workers is that they have had a spiritual awakening. So if you are someone who has had a spiritual awakening yourself, whether that was a long time ago or something that just happened, that is a good sign that you may be being activated as a light worker. Because of course, as light workers, we spend some portion of our life still asleep, still unconscious. But once we have our awakening experience, we start to want to connect with our soul's path and purpose. And this is what we are seeing happen all over the world right now, as more and more people wake up and start to want what's best for the whole, for our entire collective. You're starting to see more and more light workers come online. And the way we do that is through the spiritual awakening process. So if you have had a spiritual awakening and are starting to want to be a source of change in the world, you're starting to want to see more love and light, more things that benefit everyone, then there is a good chance that you are a light worker. Number four, another one of those signs that you may be a light worker is that light workers are very much known for having had a rough childhood. This is something that almost all of my light worker clients report, that they have had very challenging times in their family dynamics and in their childhood. So having a very rough childhood is a sign of the light worker. And the guides tell us that there's a very good reason why this happens. And the choice of having a difficult childhood, and it doesn't seem like something that we would ever choose for ourselves, but as light workers, we probably did. The guides tell us that many light workers choose to incarnate into difficult families in order to give the light worker the experience of some of the pain and hardship that the average human goes through. Because if a light worker was to be born into this loving, effortless family and never have to relate to those human relationship struggles, it can be very hard for the light worker to be able to relate to the average human. And of course, as light workers, we are here to serve the average human. And so one of the ways we do this as light workers is we choose before we incarnate to incarnate into difficult families, to help us connect and understand so that we can have compassion for the suffering of others. Because again, if we have no frame of reference for that, if we've never been exposed to the challenges of relationships, it can be very hard for light workers to relate to the average human. So a difficult childhood is one of the hallmark signs of the light worker. Number five, the next thing that you will see in many, many light workers is they tend to attract people who need healing. And that can be that you attract people that need physical healing, so people come to you to actually be healed, or it could mean that you attract emotionally damaged people to you. And so one of the things that light workers are very often exposed to is they are a magnet for narcissists, difficult and toxic people, negative people. And all of this is people are attracted to the energy of a light worker. Light workers are radiating a high vibrational energy and a love and a light. And what do lights do? They attract the bugs. So you may notice if you are a light worker or think that you're a light worker, that you tend to attract damaged people. And so one of the reasons for that is people are drawn to your energy because it heals them. And that leads to one of the biggest things that light workers need to be aware of, and that is how to protect your energy. Because you can be a magnet for energy vampires, narcissists, and just toxicity in general. Because being around your energy, if you are a light worker, is something that everyone wants. They want that hit that they get from being in your energy. So it is critically important for all light workers to know how to protect their energy. And if you don't know how to do that, if you need some energy tools to do that, check out the links below. I have tons of videos in my library to teach you some basic energy protection tools. Because again, as a light worker, everyone is going to be drawn to you, but especially people that need healing. And so having rock solid boundaries is super important for all light workers. So if you are a light worker, let me know in the comments below, what do you consider to be some of your main gifts and some of your main struggles? Because as more and more light workers are waking up to their purpose, the more we share these things with each other, the stronger the light worker community grows. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you're learning something about what it means to be a light worker. Number 6, the next thing that you will see in so many light workers is they tend to be the black sheep of their life. They tend to be someone who feels like they don't fit into their family, to their friend group, to their community. They just feel a little different, a little separated. And one of the reasons for that is because light workers tend to have a very high vibration. And this creates a little bit of vibrational separation from normal people in our lives. So it's very common if you are a light worker or think that you might be a light worker to experience feelings of being separate, like you don't quite fit in, like you're a little different from the crowd. And you are, and that's what you're here to do, is to shine a different light, bring a different vibration to the planet. It's the whole reason that we are here as light workers. So if you feel separate, if you feel a little bit like the black sheep, just know that that means you are here for a very special purpose. You are here to bring a different vibration or harmonic defiance. So this again is one of the hallmarks of the light worker. Number 7, the next thing that you will notice in many light workers is that they're extremely sensitive, extremely intuitive, and highly empathic. So this sensitivity can take many forms. It can take the form of being sensitive to lights or sounds or smells, but it can also mean that you're very sensitive to energy. Because as we mentioned, light workers have a very high vibration. And because of that, it means that you can pick up on things that the average person can't. And so for light workers, understanding how to work with your sensitivity so that you can turn it into a gift and not have it be a curse is one of the most important things to learn if you are a light worker. So again, check out my videos if you need some help with that, because as more and more light workers are waking up, they need the tools to help them protect their energy. Because hypersensitivity, which many light workers are very, very sensitive, means that you're picking up energy that the average person doesn't. And it's really important to know how to control that so that it doesn't overwhelm you. So again, getting some energy tools, energy protection tools can really help you if you're a light worker who is struggling with being more sensitive than most people in your life. So again, hypersensitivity, one of the signs of a light worker, and also your biggest gift as a light worker. Number 8, the next thing that you will notice about many light workers is they tend to be more spiritual than religious. Many light workers are drawn to the spiritual path, to things like energy work, intuitive work, channeling, all things energy, energy healing, energy tools. This is something that is very attractive to a light worker because, again, light workers are here to bring a high resonance, a high frequency to the planet. And so light workers then are going to be drawn to things that raise their vibration even higher. And that, of course, is the point of all energy work and all intuitive practice, is to get more in connection with your higher self, your guide team. And so that is one of the things that is very important for all light workers. And as a result, light workers tend to be drawn more to spiritual practices than to religion. And one of the reasons for that is light workers can feel energy. Light workers read energy naturally. And as you start to feel into the energetic differences between spiritual practices and many, not all, religious practices, many times light workers can feel a very strong control energy in religious practices, and it doesn't really vibe with a lot of light workers. So that is one of the reasons why light workers tend to be known to be more attracted to spiritual practices as opposed to the rigid dogma of traditional religions. Again, not to say that that's right or wrong, it just tends to be a theme that we see in many light workers. Number 9, as we said at the beginning, light workers are all about bringing the love, bringing the peace, bringing the harmony. And because of that, you will notice that most light workers hate conflict and drama. Anything that kills the vibe, kills the mood, separates us as people is going to generally be very off-putting to your average light worker. So light workers are all about, can't we all just get along? Let's share the love, share the light. So your average light worker is going to have no tolerance for negativity, gossip, drama, complaining. Any of that stuff that so many people thrive on, especially right now, is going to be just completely a turnoff to your average light worker. So your light worker is going to want to be uplifting everyone rather than focusing on the negative. It's what light workers do. So if this resonates with you, it's a great sign that you are a light worker. And number 10, the other thing that you will notice about many light workers is they're very into self-growth. So light workers are very drawn to self-growth practices, self-help practices, spiritual growth and development, healing practices, because all of these things raise our vibration. And again, light workers are all about the high vibration. And so it's very common with light workers to be always working on themselves. And what do we know about that? The more we work on ourselves, the more we spread healing through our entire collective. So really, self-growth, self-work, it's really kind of our job as light workers. So you'll see light workers being drawn to following people on social media who are healers and helpers, who help us grow as individuals. So light workers are always looking to expand, to learn, and to grow. And that's one of the things that really sets light workers apart. So anyway, I hope this helps you. I'll see you next time. Bye.